All right. So part of my letter series is going to be letters to my rich self. So as I read more and more about founders, implement some of these strategies for my business, now 7 years of running a packaging distribution company, hiring, pitfalls, COVID, tariffs, navigating just all the complexities of ups and downs, marketing, things getting flagged and traffic overnight and keeping up with demand and supply chains and random SKUs getting blown out, but then you reorder and are you trying to account for that growth, but then are they going to order next month and they don't, and you place that order and you try to rush it and pay extra to get it here. And so navigating all that and starting to read about so many founders and realizing that the right history won't repeat itself, but human nature does, and human emotions and decisions and you fighting with your co-founders and employees and struggling and all the heartbreaks and heartaches and mental just exhaustion is actually quite normal when you're running a company. So it's been so fun to learn about all these very successful founders, as having that rich uncle that you wish you had, but nobody had growing up. Like I never had that, where they just have all this amazing wisdom and would drop gems on you, kind of like if Charlie Munger was that for all of us. So it's kind of like an art thing where I want you to imagine it's your future self writing to you, because I think that's a lot more powerful. So I'm going to read what would be essentially one of my first letters. So I wanted to want to really make it handmade and make it fun. So I've been drawing random things like this side up, like a vintage arrow that I found. This is one of the cards, right? So mailed by hand, Austin, Texas, baby. That's where we're at. Again, this side up. And that's just a sticky note that I cut and then draw on. And then this is a free sticker that you get from Trader Joe's. And I just cut it out, right? So I'm also sending this, which is kind of like the rules of the game, which is, in one setting, each letter is going to change your life. And that's the goal. It's that it gives you that bit of inspiration to keep you going that month, to keep you hitting your goals, to inspire you, to challenge you, to help you think differently, which should ultimately really help you in business, because a lot of business is mastering your emotions. And I think that doesn't get talked about enough. So that's what these letters are for. The rules to read this are no phone, no email, after or before work, and have no distractions. Like take just this 30 minutes, an hour. The reading's not going to take you that long, but just it's a practice that you need to start instilling. And it's just have time where you're not thinking and really enjoy it. You know what I mean? So that's what I really want to happen when you're reading these. Again, the side up telling you how to open and read it. So let's go ahead and do this. So let's just say this one it says important, read first, right? 5 centuries of verse. So when you open it, it's a poem. I was on a flight from Austin to LA and I watched The Dead Poets Society. It's an amazing movie by Robin Williams. So in it, every meeting of the Dead Poets Society starts with reading this verse. So here we go. I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately. And there's some footnotes on how to read it or to understand it, right? So I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only essentials, to front only the facts of life. And so it's the whole poem broken down, right? So you're going to read that. But I have it in our main letter, so we'll kind of take it from here. So let's open this. You would kind of like peel off this sticker, right? So you'd peel open the sticker, and then you'd kind of read it. It says, make sure to read second, right? So I'm kind of just telling you what order you should read it. And here's my letter. I want to add more seals. I want to make it a little bit more handmade. That's the date that we write it, and then when I ship it to you, it's kind of like you're paying monthly for it. So I'm gonna write your name right there, and the date, so like which date it was sent out for what month, and at what time I did it, right? And then it's just like these fun notes that I want to add. I want to make it feel very much like a rough draft, what business is, which is you're just in the unknown and you're just working through things, right? So here we go. Let's read the first letter. So, dear future me, this is to be read at the opening of Dead Poets Society meetings. I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life and see if I could not learn what I had to teach, and not when I came to die, discover that I had not lived. I did not wish to live what was not life. Living is so dear. Nor did I wish to practice resignation unless it was quite necessary. I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life, to live so sturdily and Spartan-like as to put to rout all that was not life, to cut a broad swath and shave close, to drive life into a corner and reduce it to its lowest terms. And if it proved to be mean, why then to get the whole and genuine meanness of it and publish its meanness to the world? Or if it were sublime, to know it by experience and to be able to give a true account of it in my next excursion. Henry David Thoreau Walden. And so this is from Henry David Thoreau, and it's Walden or Life in the Woods. It's a book he wrote, right, about his time spent in the woods. So are you losing yourself in the 9 to 5? That's the big question. Do you remember that old movie, Dead Poet Society? Robin Williams, tweed jacket, and that half smile that feels both kind and knowing. So the film opens at the boys' prep school, where discipline and prestige define every breath. The students are bright but burdened, expected to become doctors, lawyers, and businessmen. Their futures already outlined by their parents. Yet under the surface, there's a quiet rebellion. Then comes in their new English teacher, Mr. Keaton. He asks them to rip pages from their textbook and see the world differently, to seize the day. One boy falls in love, another dares to chase acting instead of law. They revive a secret club in a cave where poetry becomes their way of breathing again. But as they begin to think for themselves, the world around them pushes back. Joe Rogan, and I'm not going to spoil it, but watch the movie. Joe Rogan said it best. Most people with regular office jobs end up pretending to be someone else for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. But that's not just a job. That's a full-time performance. You dress a certain way, talk a certain way, hide your opinions, and do what's expected just to keep the paycheck coming. But over time, that act becomes your reality. The person you truly are, the version full of ideas, passion, energy, and creativity gets pushed to the back. Day by day, you start to forget what you ever wanted in life. You stop exploring, stop dreaming, and settle into the comfort of routine. The fluorescent lights and computer screens might not look like a cage, but they can be. They keep you safe, yes, but also small. And when you finally step out of that system, you might find that there's not much of the real you left. So when was the last time you went into the woods? Not literally, but in the Thoreau sense. Away from the noise, the pressure, the constant chase. Is the life you're living really yours? Remember to enjoy life and that this is truly achieved by doing something that fulfills you. A job can be an absolute necessary stepping stone, but don't let it bury your dreams, your future rich self. P.S. Carpe diem. And that's the letter. And then this is a breakdown of the poem to further understand it. But it's just a letter of something that I am extremely passionate about, that I found extremely useful and helpful. And it's meant to be that little kick, that awesome, like I said, rich uncle that's kind of the no nonsense, 80, 70 years of wisdom and experience just piercing through you and cutting through all the noise, all the tabs, all the Chrome extensions that you have, all the podcasts that you're listening to, just with real life advice, which is usually simple, but we it doesn't get past all the noise that we have. And like I said, it's going to be really centered on just your emotions and, reframing how you think. So these are letters I'll be sending. It's once a month. It's called letterstomyrichself.com. You can sign up. It's just me right now. I have 0 people on it right now. So I am thinking of maybe the first 10 people. It's $1 a month and you'll forever be grandfathered in. So I'll definitely do that. So if you're curious and you want it, go on the website, sign up, or leave a comment, say that you want to sign up, and I'll get you some kind of code so you can pay $1. And yeah, be the first ones to get it. So thanks for listening. And that was first letter. Adios.